Scarlett Ingrid Johansson is an American actress and singer. She was born on November 22, 1984. Featured multiple times on the Forbes Celebrity 100 list, she was the world's highest-paid actress in 2018 and 2019. Time named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2021. However, I was shocked to learn about the struggles in her family's past. Her father, Scarlett Johansson, is a Danish-born architect from Copenhagen, and her mother, Melanie Sloan, is a producer from a Jewish family with roots in Poland and Russia. Her father moved to the United States from Denmark when he was a young adult, while her mother's ancestry can be traced back to Eastern Europe. Eventually, they made their home in New York City, facing significant financial difficulties along the way. From her childhood, Scarlett always wanted to become an actress. She was also well in singing. Despite their parents' hardships, they were determined not to let their situation hinder Scarlett's aspirations of fame. Scarlett had always been aware that her mother's lineage connected to Jewish communities in Eastern Europe, but that was the extent of her knowledge. Her maternal grandparents, Dorothy and Meyer Slumber, went through a divorce when her mother was still a child, causing a rift within the family. Our investigation into Meyer's heritage took us to the National Archives, where we uncovered a passenger list for a vessel named the SS New Amsterdam, which docked in New York City on May 28, 1910. Among the passengers was Meyer's father, Saul Berg, who entered the country under his original Yiddish name, Saul Schonberg, Scarlett's great-grandfather. At the time of his arrival in the U.S., he was a young man, not yet 25, journeying alone with barely any money. He eventually settled on Ludlow Street in New York's Lower East Side, where he found employment at a grocery store and was said to have sold bananas. But Scarlett's family history was about to take a tragic turn. When Saul left Greece in 1910, his brother Moshe remained behind, a choice that would later lead to devastating consequences. On September 1, 1939, Hitler's forces launched an invasion of Poland. By the end of February 1942, Hitler's forces had either killed or deported nearly all of GRU's Jewish population north to the notorious Warsaw Ghetto. At the time, Moshe was around 60 years old. He and his wife were parents to 10 children, with their youngest, Sato, being approximately 14. At its peak, the Warsaw Ghetto held over 400,000 people, crammed into an area of less than 2 square miles. Every day, dozens perished from starvation and illness. Those who managed to survive faced an even more terrifying fate, either being sent to extermination camps or brutally executed by German forces and the SS. We were curious about what had happened to Scarlett's relatives. The answer surfaced in a testimony submitted to Israel's Holocaust Museum by a woman named Miriam Margolis, one of Moshe's daughters. We had already introduced Scarlett Johansson to her maternal ancestors, who escaped Poland in the early 1900s, ensuring their survival. But when we turned to explore her paternal lineage, we uncovered a story that highlighted just how much can be lost when a family leaves its homeland. This journey begins with her father, Scarlett Johansson, who was born in Copenhagen, Denmark in 1943, a city Scarlett knows well. Although Scarlett feels a strong connection to her father's background, she actually has limited knowledge of her Danish roots due to a family tragedy. Scarlett's mother passed away when he was only 14, and when his father remarried, a deep rift formed between them, one that only grew wider as the years went on. In fact, Scarlett never had the chance to meet her grandfather, Einar Johansson, and knows very little about his life. We set out to uncover Einar's origins, but almost immediately ran into obstacles. Through a 1922 marriage record preserved in Copenhagen's archives, we identified his father as Axel Johansson. However, beyond that, no additional records of the Johansson family in Denmark could be found. Until one of our researchers uncovered an intriguing clue in an unexpected source, we found ourselves at a halt. According to historical records, Axel had settled in Denmark by 1918. Like many immigrants, he struggled to establish himself, taking on low-paying jobs in shipyards and factories. Despite our deep dive into his background, we found no evidence of nobility among Axel's close relatives. Axel's father, in reality, worked as a farm laborer, However, discovering that Axel's origins traced back to Sweden was a major breakthrough in our research. As we explored deeper into Scarlett's Swedish lineage, we realized that not all of her ancestors were farmers or laborers. In fact, one particular branch of the family had achieved notable status, beginning with Scarlett's ninth great-grandfather, a man named Johan Hoag. From the mid-1600s to the present, Hoag achieved something unusual, which Scarlett didn't recognize at first. For Scarlett Johansson, DNA testing provided a unique opportunity to appreciate the diversity within her ancestry. It enabled her to celebrate the diverse strands of her family history, all interwoven by brave ancestors who bravely left their homelands in pursuit of new experiences. In the end, the truth may not bring back those we've lost, nor undo the damage done, but it stands as a reminder of the choices made, the lives affected, and the lessons we must never forget. The question remains, will we learn from the past, or are we destined to repeat it? Only time will tell.